I am a big believer that the beauty of travel across Oregon are the unexpected treasures you find along the way, the chances to learn something more about Oregon's rich past. Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways, and this week we visit Northeast Oregon, where the past is alive, it is well, and it's your chance to learn something about the gold mining days of a century ago. Come on along as we go aboard the Sumter Valley Railroad and visit the Sumter Dredge. When the whistle blows in Sumter, Oregon, one thing's for sure.
Train number 1 to Sumter!
Adventure isn't far behind. So hurry and buy a ticket, then step aboard the Stump Dodger. Even a century later, this railroad is always on time.
The railway meandered in and out of every canyon, every that, following the timber line. So they said the railway and the trains would literally dodge around the stumps as they crawled up into the mountains.
All aboard!
Kind of like backcountry roads, but much, much worse.
Up to 4 times a day,
Tickets, please.
Baker County's Sumter Valley Railroad makes a 12-mile round-trip run from McEwen Depot to Sumter, Oregon.
The original purpose of the railroad when it was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s was to haul lumber and logs and haul them down to mills in Baker City, where they would be cut into lumber and hauled out across the nation.
Tourists have replaced the cattle and timber, folks who escape city hubbub to settle in for a slower pace. And they learn more about Baker County, too, especially the gold mining past, when giant dredges turned the Powder River upside down for miles around. Decades later, the tailings undulate like snakes across the valley.
They chew up the rock, they sift out the gold, and then they shoot the rock out the back. This was before major environmental laws.
Once in Sumter, stroll a couple of blocks away and go aboard an Oregon State Park, the Sumter Gold Mining Dredge, where you can learn more.
Each bucket would pick up about 9 cubic feet of material, wash the gold off the rocks, and it would drop through and run through some sluice boxes and out the back.
Inside the heart of the dredge, big as a barn and filled with gears and belts, winches and pumps, the rock passed through steel cylinders before water and sluices separated the gold from the dirt. 9 tons of gold in 20 years.
You didn't see many gold nuggets. There was mostly fine pepper.
So this is turning all the time?
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might meet the men who lived the history. Brothers Wes and Paul Dickerson. They grew up in nearby Baker City. In 1947, the two teens worked on the dredge for highest wages around, $1.35 an hour.
OSHA would have shut this down the very first day they stepped on it. But nobody got hurt. All kinds of hazards. I mean, there was lots of hazards.
What could get you?
Cables, gears, open gears that weren't guarded.
But it's the noise they remember the most. In fact, it was so loud they couldn't talk to one another. A bell system was the only way to communicate.
It's got a lot of interesting history here that is fun to dig into.
And is there gold here still?
Yep, there is. Some people find it easily, and some people spend their life savings and don't find very much.
They didn't get it all.
No.
We're keeping the history alive of the Sumter Valley Railroad.
Engineer Dale Olson says a ride on the Stump Dodger is a direct tie with Oregon's past, and from where he sits, she's a living museum that's worth a visit.
I think it's important to keep in touch with our past.
Is this engine a thing of beauty?
It is, absolutely. And she's a princess.
The Sumter Valley Railroad tours continue through the month of September, and the Sumter Dredge State Park is open through October, so plenty of time to get out there and explore. We have all the details, directions, and contact information right here on the Travel Oregon website, so check it out. Until next week, do get out here and explore Oregon's outdoors. Let Travel Oregon be your guide. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McComey.